Being a business analyst on an AI project feels a lot like being a translator for two people who don't even use the same alphabet. On one side, you've got stakeholders asking for magic ROI. On the other, you've got data scientists talking about stochastic gradients and p-values. In the AI era, the business analyst isn't just a scribe. You're the architect of logic. You are the one who ensures the brain we're building actually solves a human problem without hallucinating its way into a PR nightmare. Today we're looking at the 5 essential practices every business analyst needs to master to keep AI projects on the rails. If you want to be the person who can translate probability into profit, stick around. While the product owner focuses on the what and the value, the business analyst is the engine room of AI integration, focusing on the how, the flow, and the logic. In an AI-driven project, the business analyst's role evolves from documenting static requirements to architecting dynamic data relationships. Here are the top 5 best practices for a business analyst in this space. First best practice, map the data to decision flow. Traditional BAs map process flows as input, process, output. With AI, you must map how data transforms into an automated decision. Create data lineage maps that show where the training data comes from, how it's labeled, and which specific business decision the AI output influences. It helps the project team identify single points of failure in the data chain before a single line of code is written. Second best practice, define edge case, ethics and guardrails. Project managers focus on timelines, but BAs must focus on boundary conditions. AI behaves unpredictably at the edges of its training data. Explicitly document negative requirements. What the AI must not do. For example, the AI must not use protected demographic data to determine creditworthiness. This proactively manages risk and ensures the project meets increasingly strict AI compliance and bias regulations. Third best practice, transition from functional to statistical requirements. BAs are used to writing the system shell statements. In AI project management, you need to define success thresholds based on statistics. Work with stakeholders to define the minimum viable accuracy, MVA. Is a 70% accurate prediction enough to go live, or will that destroy user trust? It gives the project manager a clear go-no-go metric for the deployment phase. Fourth best practice, bridge the gap with LLM prompt engineering documentation. In many 2026 projects, the code is actually a complex system of prompts. BAs must now document these prompts as carefully as they use to document API specs. Maintain a prompt library and version control for the system instructions. Treat the prompt as a business requirement that needs to be tested and validated. It ensures that when a model is updated. Example, moving from GPT-4 to a newer iteration, the business logic remains consistent. Fifth best practice, facilitate user acceptance testing, UAT for models. UAT for AI is different because you can't test every possible input. Business analysts must design stochastic testing plans. Instead of a checklist of features, create a validation dataset representing real-world messy data that the AI must process during UAT. It moves the project from it works on the developer's machine to it works in the chaotic real world. The bottom line is this: AI doesn't fail because the math is wrong. It fails because the business context was missing. And that context? That's your domain. As a BA, you are the guardrail. You're the one who asks, what happens if the model is only 60% sure? Or where did this training data actually come from? When you start mapping data flows instead of just process flows, you become the most valuable person in the room.